Yes, the intros. Klaus loves doing intros for you guys. They're so much fun. Today we're going to watch Aragon in his Pershing. And you know, Klaus has a theory. I believe that everybody exists in a different dimension. Everyone's mind and body thrives and works in a different dimension. And Aragon here, Klaus will explain this. Aragon exists in 4 dimensions. His mind and body are capable of working in the 4th dimension. And you can tell right away the way he's playing. He can drive north, he can point the gun northeast, and he can look west and south at the same time, and at the same time be aware of everyone else's position on the map. He is aware, and basically he exists in 4 dimensions. He's got all 3 dimensions plus the sense of where everyone else is. So he exists, and his brain functions in 4 dimensions. That's Klaus's theory. Now there's other players and other people like this Oho. Now this guy exists in 1 dimension. He just got shot there. You know, he's
I went onto these rail tracks once in tier 3 and I got a kill. So I've done the same thing 847 times, and now I'm going to do it in my top tier heavy tank with no camo.
So he lives in 1 dimension. And that's the difference, you see. Everyone exists, Klaus believes, in a different plane. And well, here's a guy. Let's look at this guy. Got shot in the face in the VK here. And what's going to happen? He's going to get shot in the face again. This time it bounced. Now, how many times is he going to get shot in the face before he changes his behavior? Now, this guy probably lives, Klaus believes, in the 2nd dimension, you see? Because, okay, shot in the face again. And is he going to get shot in the face again? Let's see. Yeah, he's going to get shot in the face again. So he's got shot in the face 4 or 5 times. And now...
I got shot in the face 5 times. Oh, look, there's a big rock here. Maybe I'll try and... I've never tried this before, but maybe I'll just go behind this rock.
See, so give him the benefit of the doubt. He's learned from the stimulus applied to him, and he has gone behind the rock. So, you know, he is at least capable of adapting his behavior. And Klaus believes he exists in at least the 2nd dimension. Klaus has done some research on this and looked it up, some articles and read some things. And the attributes that Aragon is displaying here, this being able to know where his gun is facing and the situational awareness and know what's happening around him, when you look up those attributes, you find out that he has something called kinesthetic awareness, which and he's going to kinesthetically awarely shoot this ELC, and then kinesthetically awarely re-aim and reload and shoot him up the ass. Now that ELC, he's a 1-dimensional guy, see? But he's got this thing called kinesthetic awareness, which means he knows what is going on all around him for himself and for others. He's aware of all his appendages and where they are in space, basically. Okay? Now, this Yag Panther here, who's decided to sit on the tracks where the Oho got shot again, if you look up the behaviors that he is performing and how the attributes of his behavior look, he does not have kinesthetic awareness. He has more in line, he expresses the type of things that someone with mental problems would behave like. So when you get the smorgasbord and mishmash of different dimensional attributes of players throughout this game, you get lots of 1-dimensional guys and 2-dimensional guys, the odd 3-dimensional guy, and then you get this 4D guy. You get an Aragon who exists in 4 dimensions. Well, then it just doesn't become fair. It's like, for example, if you have a 2-year-old who's in play school and he's developed his skills sufficiently enough that he's able to, the playroom class teacher lets him play with the building blocks, and he can, by the age of 2, he can balance 3 of them on top of each other. But when he tries to put the 4th one on, every time he knocks them over and starts crying. Right? He's achieved one-dimensional existence and is working on dimension number 2. In comparison to someone like Albert Einstein, who can contemplate the existence and the formulation of the planets and the space-time continuum. He's more of a 5-dimensional guy. It would be like those two having a game of chess, right? The simpleton 2-year-old who plays with the building blocks, he may be able to know that he'd be very careful not to knock down the pieces. It would be difficult for him to remember whether he was white or black in the game, colors. And he may be advanced enough to know that when he moves a piece, if he keeps his finger on the piece, then his move is not officially over, right? So you see people doing that. They move the bishop up and they keep their fingers on it and look at the opponent and say, my move's not over, I can take that one back. Right? Those are the skill set of the one-dimensional guys, and then you got the Albert Einstein 5D guys that are thinking 16 moves in advance and are able to say bishop to rook 5, which corners your king, 5 moves till checkmate, right? It's just the difference, the different dimensions that we exist in. And that's Claus's theory. And now we're watching Aragon bob up and down and weave in and out here. And he is able to be in the middle of the map. And that's the first or second hit he's taken. He's in the middle of the map. And he knows where all the 1- and 2-dimensional players are all around him. And he's able to shoot them and not get shot and know what's going on all around the map. So it's like Albert Einstein playing a 2-year-old in chess, you see. But what usually happens in this game is the 1- and 2-dimensional thinkers, the people that exist in the 1st and 2nd dimension, they usually die in the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game. And then it's the 3-dimensional guys and the occasional 4D guys that are left alive. And now Aragon's figured out he is no longer in a good position. He has to move, because the people on the hill have died, so there's no longer spots for him on the hill, and he's exposed there, so he's changing his position. He's thinking in 4D, right? His teammate, the heavy tank that's going into the middle, he's probably a 2-dimensional guy. He's going there thinking, oh, it's my turn to go here now. But he doesn't realize he has no spots, and he's probably going to die. So Aragon has moved and is now aiming at the Jagdpanzer in the cap. So usually it's the 1- and 2-dimensional thinkers that die right away, and then what they do is they rage in chat or they make up excuses trying to explain why the 4-dimensional thinkers are always the last guys alive in the game. Like, what? How come players like Aragon are always the last guys alive? They're always the guys that get the great games. They're always the guys that are, the 1D guys start making excuses. They start saying, well, he's just a stat patter. He's camping at the back. He's using his team to spot. He's not really helping. He's just farming. They come up with ridiculous explanations to try and justify the fact that they die in the first 2 minutes all the time. And the 4D guys, the guys with the kinesthetic awareness, you should look that up, actually. It's a real word. The guys that whose brains and bodies and minds exist in a dimension higher than the average person, they try and explain, well, why are they always alive last? How do they do it? Well, it's very simple, and Claus's theory is that we all exist on this planet together, but some of our brains and some of our minds and bodies and behaviors are on different dimensional levels than others. And Claus is not talking about IQ or whether you're smart or you're a simpleton or a moron or stupid. It's just that some people exist in one dimension and some people exist in 4 dimensions. And this Löwe, or Lowy, or Low, whatever you want to call him, Aragon has to decide who he's going to go shoot here. He kills this guy first in the cap, and now he's going to go after this Löwe. Now this guy has done pretty good. He's survived the whole game, and now it's one-on-one. The Löwe has a really good gun, and he's pushed his ass up on the hill so his front plate is angled down so that it's easier to pen. Right? He's going to stay there, and he exists mainly in 1 dimension because, you know, he can shoot and that's about it. He can't shoot and move at the same time, or, you know, it's just one thing at a time. So then you got this guy whose face, he does not know that there's someone on the side shooting him. He exists in probably 2 or 3 dimensions. He's done pretty good, but Aragon, the 4D guy, is shooting him. Now it's 2 versus 1 at the end. And of course, Aragon is the last guy alive. Again, like most of his games, he's the last guy alive. Why? Because he's not a 1D guy. Now here's the Scorpion who's driving forward with the turret facing the wrong way. You know, give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's a 2D guy. He's smart enough to know to turn that turret and take a shot. And he did get a hit. But he didn't get the hit fast enough, and Aragon shot him twice and killed him. And now it's 1 versus 1, and Aragon is a one-shot. And the guy in the cap has played a good game. He's played a good game, but he is not a 3 or 4 dimensional existence because it's 1 versus 1, and he's in the cap. And a 4-dimensional thinker would realize that if it's 1 versus 1, if I am in the cap, then the enemy will have a siren going off through his speakers and a big red line on his screen, which tells him that I am in the cap. So he will know where I am. You see, even a 3D thinker would understand that. But this guy, you know, he's in the cap, and there he is. And oh, it's the same guy who figured out to hide behind the rock. But, you know what Claus is saying. Look at this game. Look at the results. Almost 5,000 damage. Look at the shots. Made a profit. So, thanks for watching. Thank you, Aragon, for this excellent replay. And let Claus know what you think of this theory, this dimensional theory. And just, you know, if you don't believe me, just think about chimpanzees. You know, 99% of chimpanzees like bananas, but 1% do not like bananas. They prefer papayas. Why? It's because they exist in different dimensions. And which one of those chimpanzees you think gets the best spot on the tree to go to sleep at night? Think about that.